Children, today we will do a complete video of the entire chapter Diversity in Living Things and Their Classification. Now, over the whole of last week, I have explained the entire lesson to you, but today we will do revise the entire chapter in one go so that it's there on records and we upload it and keep it in the YouTube. Now, diversity matlab, you know what? There are many varieties. How does the varieties come? It's because the plants or the animals, the living things, that is, they adapt themselves to the surroundings. That is why we have so many diversity. Diverse matlabs, you have different colors of flowers, you have different types of fruits, you have different so many varieties. Animals which live in water, animals which live on land, then you have animals which breathe through the lungs, animals which breathe through the gills, so on and so there is so much diversity, and based on the diversity we have a classification of both plants and the animals. And today we will start. Okay, in which sphere of earth do living things exist? The geographical conditions at different places on earth are very different. We find that living things exist in all these diverse conditions. When we live in a certain place, we adjust to the conditions there. Various types of living things have survived because of this ability to adjust themselves to the conditions in their surroundings. Now, all plants and animals that you have seen, are they all alike? No, they are not. So let us now see the diversity in plants. Various types of plants are found in many places around us. Some plants are like grass. Grass, yani you have seen everywhere, right? Then, which are short, while there are some grasses which are tall. Okay, then you have a canopy type trees, that is trees which grow like this. Okay, they grow like this and they form a canopy like an umbrella on the top. So you have grasses which are short, then you have trees which grow into canopies. Some plants grow underwater, while some waters grow under the water, some plants float in water. We find that some plants grow even in deserts where there is no water, as it doesn't rain there. Moreover, we find varieties of rice or wheat, different types of roses, mangoes of different flavors. Some plants even grow without stems, leaves, or roots. These are very different from ordinary plants. Let us now study this diversity among plants. So, what they are trying to say is some grasses can be as short as, plants can be as short as you see in grasses. Then you have plants which grow like huge trees which form canopies. Then you have plants which grow in under the water. Then you have plants which float in water. Then you have different varieties of rice, you have different varieties of wheat, you have different types of mangoes. So there is so much diversity, and then you have some trees which do not have stems, some trees which do not have leaves, some trees which do not have roots. So let us study the diversity amongst plants. Now, plants make their own food in sunlight. Such plants are called autotrophs, those who prepare their own food. Okay, for example, the hibiscus, the pomegranate, the periwinkle, etc. Some plants like funguses, loranthus, daughter, use other plants for food and are said to be heterotrophic. Autotrophic मतलब खुद खाना बनाते हैं. Heterotrophic मतलब दूसरे plants में they do not have chlorophyll, so they cannot prepare their food. Now, plants like the pitcher plant, okay, they have a flap like, see the pitcher plant, they have a flap like thing and a sticky substance here. Then the insect sticks, comes and sits here, the plant closes, and the plants get their nutrition from the insects. They are called the insectivorous plants. Now, what does it say? Plant structure can be divided basically into two parts: the stem and the root. The stem, which grows above the ground and the root which grows below the ground. Okay. Now the root system, the root, stem and leaves are the root, the stem and the leaves are the main parts of the plant. From time to time, plants bear fruits, sorry, plants bear flowers for reproduction. Flowers are transformed. Transform मतलब यही flowers fruits बन जाते हैं. Okay, fruits have seeds. Again, from seeds you get new plants. Now let us study the flower. The flower is the most attractive part of the plant. It is connected to the stem. Is it interconnected to the stem by a stalk which may be long or short? The flower has a typical color and shape. The flower is an important means of reproduction. क्योंकि फ्लावर क्या बनता है, फ्रूट बनता है, फ्रूट में से सीड मिलता है, सीड में से और एक प्लांट होता है. सो फ्लावर इज कंसिडर्ड एन इम्पॉर्टेंट मीन्स ऑफ reproduction. Then you have the next part of the plant they are telling about is the stem, this central part, and this also is an extension, but this is the main stem. Now the height, shape and size of a plant depends upon the stem. The stem carries out the functions of production, conduction and storage of food. So let us see what is production. By the process of photosynthesis, plants which contain green pigment chlorophyll prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight, water vapor, carbon dioxide and so water and nutrients from the soil. Now this process is called photosynthesis. So this takes place in the leaves which are attached to the stem. So the function of the stem is production of food. Then you have conduction. The food is transported to various parts of the body. So that is conduction. Storage मतलब संभाल के रखना. कल जाके कभी सनलाइट नहीं हुआ तो खाना नहीं बनेगा. तो the plants have a capacity to store food in the stem. That is why the function of the stem is production, conduction and storage of food. In some plants, it has the function of reproduction. It gives support to other parts of the plant. Now we'll go to the next part of the plant, which is the leaf. The leaf is flat. It is flat, correct? ऐसे है, correct? It is not like it is not like round or something. It's flat. Then it plays an important role in the production of food. Chlorophyll है leaves में, उसमें से through photosynthesis plants prepare their own food. Leaves are mainly of two types, simple leaf and compound leaves. Now when you have taken hibiscus flower or a shoe flower plant, this has only one leaf, so it is simple leaf. Compound leaves are one single stalk has many small leaves, so these are compound leaves. Now you have the fruit. The fruits have different shapes. Fruits contain one or more seeds. The pods of beans and peas are actually fruits. Then you have the roots. The roots hold the soil firmly and anchor the plant. Okay, these are the roots. The main function of the roots are to absorb and transport water and nutrients from the soil. The roots and the carrot and radish also store food. There are two types of roots, tap root and fibrous roots. Now, need for classification of plants. Up to now, information about lakhs of plants has been collected. While studying the diversity of plants, they are classified for the sake of convenience on the basis of similarities and differences in their structure, their organs, and their other characteristics. Now, let us see. Carlos Linnaeus made the first scientific classification of plants. Initially, it was his method of classification that was used by all. So, based on the where it grows, what is the name of the everything, he made a classification. Now we'll go to the classification of plants. Okay, we can easily notice in this picture that notice the differences in the shape, height of plants in our surroundings. It is easy to classify plants on the basis of the observation. Now let us see What are the similarities between a mango tree, a banyan tree, and a tamarind tree? Now, trees. Some plants grow very tall, okay? Their stem or trunk is hard and strong. They have branches at some height above the ground level. ये है ground, तो branches सब यहीं से काफ़ी जगह के बाद ही वो शुरू होता है. They bear flowers and fruits for many years, right? Such plants are called trees. Trees are tall, big, and perennial. That is, they live for many, many years. Then you have what is called, what are the similarities between the hibiscus and the oleander and the lantana plants? Shrubs. Some plants grow close to the ground. Okay, now see, for example, the hibiscus plant grows close to the ground. Okay, they don't grow as tall as the tree. ये तो इतना लंबा चौड़ा है, right? But the hibiscus plant grows very close to the ground, correct? See, so close to the ground. They are shorter and smaller than trees, but they have a thick stem, hard stem. The oleander, hibiscus, lantana, coranthi, and rose are shrubs that may grow up to 2 to 3 meters. What is the similarities between fenugreek and periwinkle? Fenugreek मतलब मेथी. Now, दोनों पेरीविंकल और फेनुग्रीक ये दोनों herbs है, ठीक है? I'll try to post some pictures of herbs also. Now, herbs. Herbs grow 1 to 1.5 meters tall. The stem of herbs are green and quite flexible as compared to those of trees and bushes. Herbs may live for a few months or up to 2 years. According to the size and height of their stems, plants can be classified into 3 types. These are the trees, these are the shrubs, and the herbs. They have not given pictures. I will post it. Now, have you seen vines like the pumpkin, the railroad creeper, the kaveli, the watermelon, or the grapevine? How do they grow? The vines. VINEL. Some vines need vertical support. This is called vertical. Vertical support for growing, while some others grow on the ground. Yeah, others spread on the ground. Climbers like the money plant have aerial roots. Have you seen a cucumber tendrils that look like a spring? Or what what use could they be? Touch the stem of any vine, what do you feel? Now, for how many years do so what happens is they're very soft and tender, and they just twine around the support they are given. And if it grows on the ground, they just the superficial aerial roots just get into the ground and support the plant. This is the money plant, which again has soft tendrils which grow around the support and which they are given. Now let us see what they say about how long does the bajra or the corn or the radish or the marigold live. So different plants have different lifespan. Now there's some may live for 1 year, some may live for 10 years, some may live for 50 years, and so on and so forth. So the life cycle of plants like jawar, sunflower is completed in 1 year. These plants are called एनुअल्स. एनुअल मतलब तुम्हारा एनुअल एग्ज़ाम कभी रहता है, साल में एक बार ही रहता है, इसीलिए इसको हम लोग एनुअल्स, इस प्लांट्स जो एक साल रहता है उसको हम लोग एनुअल्स कहते हैं. द लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ प्लांट्स लाइक द कैरेट्स, बीटरूट इज फॉर 2 years. दे आर कॉल्ड बाइनियल्स. Shrubs like the hibiscus and the oleander and trees like mango and gulmohar live for several years and bear fruits and flowers. They are called perennials. According to the period of their life cycle, plants are classified as annuals, annuals, biennials, and perennials. Annuals matlab they live for 1 year. Biennials matlab they last for about 2 years or so, and or they fruit for 2 years, twice a year. And perennial matlab they live for many years. Now, to which part of the plants are butterflies and insects attracted? Plants that bear plants that bear flowers are called flowering plants, while that never bear flowers are called the non-flowering plants. Non-flowering plants may not have organs like root, stem, or leaves. Then they had said about the world's largest flower and the smallest flower. This is just for information, and in no way does it say anything about the classification system. They have just said which is the largest flower and which is the smallest flower. Now you have seen that some plants grow in water, some plants grow in land, some float in water, some grow underground in water, some grow in deserts. So where does the pomegranate shrub grow? Where do the bulrushes or the railroad creeper grow? Where does the lotus grow? And where does the daughter plant grow? So we see different plants growing in different places around us. Plants can be classified according to their habitat or the place where they grow. Land, water, marshy areas, deserts, and even a big tree are the various habitats of plants. Okay, so this is basically where it grows. Based on that, they are called desert plants or aquatic plants or terrestrial plants, depend on where it is grown. Then you have diversity and classification of animals, which will be the part 2 of the video. Okay.